Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. Today we're reviewing the newest, the not greatest, but the newest MCU movie, The Eternals. Just saying, keep in mind that I might accidentally spoil the movie like I did with No Time to Die. So just be ready for that. And if you don't want spoilers, then watch this video after you see the movie. And then also these new posters. Let me just get them. Here's one. I got this, and then there's a Dark Knight one over there. I'm gonna hang these up sometime this weekend. Somebody in there, and then yeah. I'm gonna hang these up sometime, and I'll figure out where to hang them up. One's definitely gonna replace this one because I'm gonna want something different. So as a whole, not much else to say. We can get right into it. Starting off with what this movie's about. This movie's about these 10 Eternals that are from this planet that come to Earth to protect it from these dragon-like characters called Deviants. And then they kind of journey through Earth, change their ways a bit, and then later one dies, and then, this is the linear fashion, not the non-linear fashion that the movie told the story in. So one dies, and then because Deviants are back, and then all the Eternals have to come together to stop them. But then twists and turns happen, and the whole thing kind of crescendos into a nice little finale, I guess. So that's, if I had to put it one way without spoiling anything, that's how you do it. Now the good. And the first thing that comes to my mind about good things for this movie definitely is the visuals. The visuals in this movie are amazing. Like, there's nothing bad about them. Whether it's the sword visuals for Angelina Jolie's character, there's like tech visuals, there's some kaleidoscope visuals later in the thing too. All of it is really nice. I think this might be the most visually appealing MCU movie, possibly. Doctor Strange is up there. There's some other ones that might be better too, but of the newest ones, this is definitely the most visually appealing. So, and I really like that. Other things, I think the characters as a whole kind of work for me. The development, I'll talk about that later, but the characters in general, they all pretty much work. And then, they work together, no pun intended, but they're pretty good characters, I guess. The villain, I think the villain could have been developed more, but as a whole, I think introducing Celestials into the MCU really works for me. I actually kind of like that. I even have like a table with Celestials which is the yellow ones in that poster. So I know a little bit about Celestials from comics. I've read a couple things about them and heard stuff about them. None of them mixed. And the character development just, it's so disappointing. Where you have all 10 of these characters who should have amazing character arcs. A couple of them don't, like Cersei and Sprite, but then a lot of other ones have huge character arcs, like Ajax and sort of Icarus and some other ones too, but they don't really play into it. So this makes me just wish that this was just an MCU TV show that lasted for maybe 13 episodes, where the first 10 episodes are individual episodes developing each character, or maybe not developing each character, or the first 5 episodes can be actually the first 8 episodes can be developing them through time, and then the last 5 episodes are where it all kind of crescendos together and where everything kind of comes together. That would have been really cool. This would have been cool as a TV show. As a movie, it just feels so rushed, and as a whole, the characters, by the way, this is mixed and bad. So the characters in their development, there should have been more development. Some characters I think were developed enough, like Makari and Gilgamesh. Other ones needed a lot more development, like Festos and what's his name, Druig, or whatever it's called. So, but a lot of the characters, they still kind of worked for me, but I just wish they were developed more. Come on. So, and yeah. Now you have the bad. And starting out the bad, you have that, I think this movie's just rushed. Like, it just feels like everything was just rushed. And it feels really long, but at the same time, they just rushed all these character arcs, especially Druig and Festos. So like, and then when you get to the finale, you're kind of confused with all their worldviews, especially Druig and Festos. But a lot of the other characters, I think, are really work for me, like Chris, where you're still invested in him by the end, although his end sacrifices is a little weird. But there's some other characters like Sprite that I just didn't care for. So the inconsistency in the characters, and there's more bad than good, and that's just frustrating, especially with the main character, which is Cersei. I think she should have had a bit more of a lively personality. Like, any other of the characters could have worked better as a main character, but her. And another one, this is where I'm gonna get into spoilers. So in 3, 2, 1, don't skip through this part where Ajax shouldn't have died. She should have been the main character. And you see her progress. This movie shouldn't have been non-linear. Like, it should have stayed on a linear path throughout time as you see it, and then it all kind of crescendos into a finale. I'm okay with some of the non-linear storytelling, but the problem is things happen to characters before they're really developed, and it's weird, especially Ajax. Like, she should have been the main character. Like, I'm fine with her maybe dying, but then, like, she should have been, like what they should have done a TV show where each episode the first 2 episodes, I mentioned this earlier, you have the development of the world and the world views, and ends with the whole thing of Babylon, or maybe the first 3 episodes, and then you kind of follow each individual character arcs. So you go with Sprite and Cersei, Icarus and Ajax, Gilgamesh and Athena, Festos, Druig, and then Makari can be, I don't really know. So, as a whole, I really wish that this should have been a TV show. I would have think it would have been so much better. I think everyone would have loved it. I don't know if it would have created as much intrigue as some of the other TV shows like Loki and WandaVision, but I think it would have been cool. So, as a whole, I think the way the things left off is a little weird with Harjan just, like, I mean, he's a fine enough villain, but like, I think the development, was great. They should have just done more. It's not, but I think the problem is, as a whole, I really wish we got more Celestial stuff. It's really interesting now that we're getting Celestials in the MCU, and it's really, really cool. I just wish that they kind of developed it a bit more. Like, they could have done so much more, but they focused more on the Deviants than the Celestials. And that's kind of frustrating. So for this movie's final score, I'd give it like a 5.6 out of 10. This is tricky because on one hand, there's some great things. I think the movie overall is pretty watchable. But the thing is that, unlike the other 2 movies I saw recently in the theater within the past couple months, which are Shang-Chi and No Time to Die, I'm not really, like, my friends said they're going to go see it on Sunday because I saw it with my grandpa yesterday, and I was like, I don't really want to go see that again. I'm not gonna lie. It's not even because I didn't like it. It's just I don't feel like rewatching it, and I think that's kind of it's just kind of frustrating. I'm still probably gonna go see it again. I don't really know, but as a whole, I give it more of a negative review than a positive review. So I'm gonna hang out, and then it's just saying later today or earlier today. I don't know when they're gonna come out. My trailer reactions for She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel are coming soon. I couldn't get to No Way Home because of the timing, but I'll just react to it. I'll just tell you my thoughts. It looks fantastic. I'm super pumped for No Way Home. Keep in mind, I will be doing more Spider-Man content after I finish the Bond. MCU, I'm not going to do a binge watch like I did before I ranked all 23 MCU movies back a while ago. I'm going to do a tier list soon after I finish my Bond stuff. I can rank all 10 Eternals. I'm probably going to do that soon. And we'll figure something out, I guess. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Especially, tell me your thoughts about what you think about Eternals. Or if you haven't seen it yet, just don't watch this video. So, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.